This is Drop Tent Media Network.
Hey, welcome to the Weekday Comics. I'm Dave Primiano.
And I'm Dan D'Aprile, and we're here to shoot the shit and talk the news.
Started on.
Hey, what's up? We're back after 3 weeks. We really got it fired up before the camera rolled. Was it 2 weeks?
2 weeks ago?
I was sick. I was sick last week. It felt like 2 weeks. I was sick with fear for the country. No, just bad luck.
I tell people, sleep in your own filth. You'll never get sick.
Everyone was sick to their stomach after that debate. It just turns out for me, I actually had something wrong.
Well, let's introduce our guest before we just dive into that.
That sounds good. Who is our guest this week, Dave?
Oh my God, we have a hilarious Philadelphia comedienne.
Oh, stop.
I don't. Am
Don't
I
do
pronouncing that
Don't
right?
do that. No, you're not.
Well, then I just said.
You've already fucked up.
I just said comedian then, and
Yeah.
I said it weirdly because I talk funny.
Why? Why'd you say it weirdly?
I didn't.
So please introduce our comediatrix. Dave, will you introduce
That's
her?
how we prefer
Yeah.
comediatrix.
Comediatrix. Okay. Emily Epstein White is here,
Yay.
everyone.
Hey,
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, folks.
Oh, no, thank you for being on. I apologize for saying words weird.
It's the first of many. Don't worry. Buckle up.
No problem. I always think it's funny when people have to change the word because the other gender's doing it.
Right.
I mean, we've come a long way since Lady Comic, right?
This next comic has a vagina. Yeah.
Your next
I have-
comic is a woman.
Yep,
Please
I
give
have
it up.
been introduced all those ways.
Wow.
This comic is dating one of the other comics on the show.
No.
Oof.
Also,
I've never gotten that one.
No,
but
yeah.
no.
But that's
my
more of a
favorite is
social
actually
issue for you.
before the show happens, where you're in the green room and they ask if you're the girlfriend of one of the comics.
Oof. Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, but also I'm on the show and he's not here.
Do you get have you gotten any like after a show people coming up and being like, you're really funny, which is crazy because like women aren't like
Yes.
yeah,
Yes, I have.
I don't know a single lady comic who
Whoa.
hasn't happened to, which
Yeah.
is crazy. The balls on some people to come up and be like, she'll really think this is a compliment.
And they all do have balls.
Yes,
For the
right.
record, though,
So-
maybe this is just my male competitiveness talking,
Hmm.
but I would love to be told that everybody in some group that I'm in isn't funny except for me. I would hold that as such a bad, like, I would lord that over everybody. But I
Yeah.
guess
It has happened. It has happened from male comics, which I think is funny because I'm like, if you guys don't see at least a couple of female comics, then like, where are you going?
Right.
I know a
But
few spots.
but it
Yeah. I was gonna say I can list a few rooms where you would never encounter a
den of
funny woman.
iniquity.
But that's just because those women want to stay safe.
That's fair. But yeah, and they will. It happens now. When it happens now, it has not happened recently without someone prefacing it with, I'm probably not supposed to say this. And I'm like, you don't have to. You can stop. You can walk away. It's okay. But they don't ever.
Yeah.
They don't ever walk away. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't. Yeah. But it is.
Sure.
It's an honor that you have changed someone's perspective about more than half of the population.
Right.
And that's a lot of power. And you gotta like, do you then tell them the earth isn't flat? Do you like save it for something bigger? Do you tell them who to vote for? You know what I mean? Like
that
it's
is
lot
a good way to
power.
look at it.
Yeah.
You've given them
See?
like a really important life lesson. Like it would be like the arc of that character if written into a thing. It all happened the moment you got on stage. It's
Yes.
crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. That my comedy is that powerful.
That's right.
Absolutely. My dick jokes change lives.
See, this sucks. I'm Jewish and Italian, two just naturally hilarious groups of. So I don't
That's
get
true.
that. I never gotten that. I don't think Italians are funny.
We
No.
celebrate we do celebrate you being one of the premier Jewish athletes on this podcast. That's something we've brought up a number of occasions. We acknowledge
The old Gaga ball courts.
yeah, we acknowledge your dominance on the Gaga
Do you
ball.
know do you know the Gaga ball?
So it's fun to their noting my age here that there is a sport that was created after I was a child. I'm like my kids, spoiler alert, I have them, my kids play it. And at first we're like, that's not real. Like, did Lady Gaga create it? Is that what happened? And they're like, no. And then we realized it was real. I still don't know exactly how to play it, but I have an idea.
How
Wait,
does
you're-
one play Gaga ball?
Oh, I thought Gaga ball wasn't invented after I was a kid when I played this in Jewish community camps.
Okay.
Back
Well, it
in the-
didn't
Yes.
make it to my Jewish community camps.
I went to
Well,
the
it's hard to get out of the Jewish community camp. That's
I went to the Medford JCC.
Maybe it was maybe it swept New Jersey first and took a
Yeah,
while to get
I was
to
a
other
counselor and shit. And yeah,
No.
the Gaga. Okay, so Gaga Ball is in a. It's I forget if it's it's a big wooden hexagon or octagon. It like comes up to yay high. You get a volleyball. You have to like it's like dodgeball. You hit it at other people. You can hit it off as long
But
as
it's
they.
within a small area, so there's a lot more like ducking. And
Yeah,
moving
it's
and weaving.
yeah, it's fun.
The
Yeah,
first time I saw it was on Bob's Burgers, and then I
That's
was
right.
I was
No.
at an elementary school because I hang out there like before I had children because it's fun,
Yeah.
and I saw
James
one.
used to do that too
Yeah,
until they told
yeah.
him he couldn't
It
anymore.
was there's like
Yeah.
legal, but yeah, I was like, is this real? Is this the impact of Bob's Burgers? I was like, no, so it like took us a while to figure that out.
I think there's what pickleball. Pickleball's been invented in our
I
adult
refuse to
lifetime, right?
acknowledge that as a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Neil's got pictures
Neil's
of
got some
Gaga
pictures
Ball.
of Gaga Ball. The problem with
There's only
Gaga Ball.
children
Yeah,
playing
that's what
it.
it looks like.
No, I
yeah.
played man's Gaga Ball.
Yeah, the problem with Gaga Ball is in the 90s, all of the great
Gaga
players
Ball.
were completely
Gaga
unlikable people. So they just didn't really, the sport didn't take off until they found some sympathetic players.
All these sports like pickleball and gaga ball and all of them are about like moving real fast, and like as a geriatric person, like I just don't want to pull and tear anything. I
Yeah.
do that enough just like sneezing and getting up.
So
That kid's tearing his ACL in that
Yeah.
picture.
Oh,
I don't know if, yeah.
so you've upgraded to golf and bowling.
I run it on a treadmill where I can't hurt myself.
Okay.
And then there are parameters around me, which is safe.
We're
yeah.
talking sports though.
No, not from me or not.
Okay.
Mind games. I'm very good at those.
Ooh, mind game-
Okay.
Mind
Yeah.
games is a sport. How would you score mind games?
Oh, it's just how much therapy do the people around you need after interacting with you?
Ooh, I love this idea
This
of
is good.
scoring mind games
Yeah.
because I think that's the one thing I might be ahead in life on.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
crying is like, but you know, it's kind of like the same thing with comedy, right? Like if someone like snarfs their drink or like has this like loud, ridiculous, like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like you're like,
Oh,
a laugh is good, but this is more. This,
I've
is,
never-
this is what we want.
I've never had more confidence in my life when I made a woman spit up all over a
Oh,
table.
it's beautiful.
And I just looked at her husband and said, Bet you've never made her do
Yeah,
that.
well, exactly.
My favorite thing
exactly.
I've ever said off the top of my head. But
Yeah,
I-
no, I'm very competitive, which is probably, and I'm very short. So those are not good combinations
Sure.
of a thing. And I have always been like, I mean, I started running in the last like couple of years.
So you have like a Napoleon complex.
Yes,
Ah.
I do. Yes, I do. And it was worse because my doctor told me I was going to be taller than I actually am. So
Oh.
he gave me promises. And then when I was like 16, I was at the doctor and I was like, when's my growth spurt? And he's like, did you get your period yet? And I was like, excuse you? Yes. And he's like, then you're done. And
I'm an ear
Wow.
doctor.
Yeah.
But-
I was never 5'4", and it was sad.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
sad. My mom's side of the family, all the guys are 6'6",
Mhm,
and they're about our producer Neil's height.
mhm.
And all of the men on my dad's side of the family are 5'4", and so
Oh,
I,
my.
one of the tallest members of the dad side of the family,
And how tall are you?
5'7".
That's pretty
So
tall. There you
I'm-
go.
yeah, with the exception
Taller
of my
than Tom Cruise, right?
yeah,
Isn't that
yeah,
Why do
Is
I know
that
that?
straighter
Is-
teeth. too.
is that what we judge if a height is?
Masculinity is Tom
like,
Cruise or taller.
Because I
yes.
feel like because all the dating profiles say 6 feet or taller, not
Right.
Tom Cruise height or taller.
Well, Tom Cruise is only 5'7". So, or how Dave? You're what, 5'8"?
5'9.5" actually. I
There's
don't
that
like you
half.
trying to.
There we
go.
I know I'm still rocking the half.
Yeah, you earned it. It's fine.
I feel like 5'9". You should give up.
I've
the
actually
half.
lost it. So I was 5'10". But yeah,
I
you're
have
not
that
gonna.
in my family too. I have very tall people and very short people, and I am the shortest always.
Yeah.
Except my grandmother was 4'10" when she passed away, but her husband was 6'1". So
Okay, there you,
know.
go.
you just could really get anything.
Your husband's kind of tall, right?
Yeah, he's about 6. He's broad though
Yeah.
and intimidating.
So you just,
That's a threat
just-
to all the
yeah.
viewers.
so you
at home.
just start fights with dudes at the mall and shit.
Yeah, because I hang out at the mall all the time when I'm not here.
I don't
or
know. I just picked
learning
the
how to
first.
play Gaga ball.
I picked
so.
the first public place. I guess people go to restaurants.
That-
yeah.
That's a
No,
good-
they go to the mall. God damn it.
That's a good partnership though, because your husband, I've only met him a couple times, but he's very nice. Like he's kind of like soft spoken when I met him. So I like that it's like he's this big, broad, imposing guy, and then the real threat is you, the 5 foot.
Oh, yeah.
something Jewish woman.
Oh, I'm like a little ball of fury.
You think you don't want to fuck with him, but really, like, he's the one that's going to hold you back.
It's funny. He's very loud. Like, just his voice naturally is very loud, but he has like a friendly demeanor.
Yeah.
But it's funny, like I grew up in a house where people yelled, like my dad specifically, and I'm like, I don't want to be that person. And like when we had kids, we're like, we're not going to yell, which lasted like 2 years.
Yeah.
And now I yell all the time, and it does nothing. Like it does nothing at all. They'll be like, "Mommy, you don't scare us at all."
How old are your kids?
They're 8 and 5.5. But when I look upset, like pissed, that's terrifying to them because I look really angry. I'm angry.
Jewish mothers, right? Isn't that-
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's a lot. And
What?
And my mom was an elementary school teacher, so she learned how to yell without yelling because legally you can't do that. So it's just the same volume, but it sounds really hard to get, like really angry, like grizzled, and like it's fighting to keep its composure.
Teachers can't yell anymore?
I mean,
No.
Like,
They
I know
can't
they
do
can't
anything
beat the
anymore.
kids, which is
It's a shame.
just
True.
unfortunate.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But
I mean, I think you can raise your voice to a certain extent, but you can't do the damage that you'd really like to do.
Right. Now, if you don't want the kid, if you want a kid to like learn a hard lesson, you just sit them by the door. You know, if it's somebody
Turn
comes
your
and
backs.
takes it.
You can't look at anybody.
Yeah.
we still had that back when but the teachers also could yell. They couldn't.
We could get
I mean,
yelled
like,
at.
I think they could call us idiots too. Back in my day,
Probably.
yeah,
They
you
probably
could call a
could.
kid an idiot.
The
Now you
90s.
can't.
Yeah, you could get away with a lot more. in
You
the
could
90s.
leave kids behind.
Oh, 100%.
Well,
And that's
Until there was a whole program about not
that's what
doing
I'm.
it.
Yeah,
We escaped
I
that.
worded it. I worded it like yeah.
I see.
We-
I'm picking up what you're
We
putting down.
graduated back when they were still leaving kids behind, and
Mhm.
we're evidence of it.
Yeah, and it's
So,
no, that was a good thing. You're not on Twitter. You don't
No.
see it enough.
that's true.
My
Not everybody needs a participation trophy. I get it.
it's not the it's just back in my day. Stupid people had the decency to know they're stupid, and now stupid people talk like they're not stupid, and
Yeah.
that's a dangerous so they're stupid and arrogant,
Right.
which is just a bad combination of things to be.
Yeah. I mean, I also feel like now there are more reasons to explain why someone is not bright. Like you can
Like-
back it up with things.
Oh,
like
Oh, because there's more. So if you think something, you'll
they're more
page 5 on Google. We'll have
Yes,
that article.
You can
Yeah.
diagnose yourself, or someone can diagnose. So you can back it up as I'm this way because. Whereas before you're like, just John's like that, like he's just the one.
Right. Yeah, my uncles will say that too. They'll say shit like, "Oh, it's crazy how many new autistic people there are." It's like, no, there's the same amount of autistic people.
They're
You
just
just used to
diagnosed
call that
now.
like dumb John who sat at the
Yes.
bar and got drunk
Poor
every day.
John. He's having
Yeah.
such a hard time today.
Right.
I feel like
So-
Now we know he was autistic, and
Yep.
or he was probably autistic back then. But
I
people that were doing what he's doing, we know now.
Well,
they're
they
just
expanded the scope of what autism is. Like there was autistic kids back then, but they were clearly they weren't. I don't want to say they're good kids.
I see.
And
Well,
now it's just it's awkward people. And
Well, I think it's because before it was a spectrum and nobody had any illusions about the kid who's like smacking his head or
Yeah, like-
whatever and just making noises. But they're the other kid that only ate, popsicles and like refused to eat anything else to like the detriment of his own health. They used to just be like, that's a weird
That's
kid.
just how they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah,
that was
right.
fine too.
Yeah, in our
Popsicle-
day, that was fine.
It's great popsicle weather. I can kill them popsicles, kid.
I have a friend who has kids who are, like I think elementary school. And she was like, but one of her kids has special needs. And I go, oh, what are her needs? And she goes, she has anxiety and depression. And I was like, don't we all? Like,
Yeah,
are we all just special needs humans now?
That's-
Like, that's just how it is. And
Yeah.
I felt so awful, but I'm like, I mean, that's valid. But still, like, I don't know. I feel like there are less people that aren't autistic or depressed or anxious than there are at this
Yeah.
point.
I don't like, I have ADHD and I don't like that, like in the past, like 5 years, they've been like saying ADHD is autism. So like, oh no, it's autism. And it's like, no, I just can't focus. And they're like, yeah, you're autistic. And it's like, no, I just have like a hard time, like making executive decisions. Like, yeah, that's autism. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't I don't
Yeah,
know,
we-
like, no
'Cause there's so
offense.
much overlap.
No offense
now.
to the, autistic people. I just think that
You don't want to be in that
ADHD.
group. That's fine.
We're too
Yeah.
old to get that as a built-in, like as a retroactive excuse now.
Oh,
too.
we're not allowed. Yeah, we weren't
We're
allowed
just-
to have ADHD either. Yeah, we were just.
We need to be left behind.
I guess in a way that is how I was left behind. Nobody bothered
Yeah.
to treat
You're
my
lucky
many
you got
mental disorders.
You got medication. They fucking gave me glasses because I wasn't paying attention. Good
Oh
enough.
no, Dave, they didn't give me medication. That's the thing.
Oh,
I grew up poor, so my family was like, boys will be boys. We don't go to the doctor for out of control kids. We'll just hit him until he does his homework. No, I
Yeah.
didn't get
Did
hit.
you
No,
do
that's
your
very
homework?
effective.
It was
very
like yelling
effective,
at
yeah.
me, corporal, or like grounding and
Why
things
can't
like
you
that.
clean your room? Can you see the mess? And
Right.
you're like,
It was like, we'll literally take away everything that you can do to distract you, so you're forced to do this one thing, and that works. It's not a good way, I think, to handle ADHD people.
you sure feel sad inside.
Yeah, it definitely was tough. I wish they could have just given me a pill. Then when I went to college, somebody gave me Adderall to snort at a party, and I snorted it and went, wow, I think I could probably finish that paper I have to get done. Like everything like cleared up for me. So that's
Yeah.
how I figured
I've heard that story. Well, not yours, but like the
Right.
thing of
It's a
someone
common
gave
story.
someone,
Yeah.
like someone popped one and then was like, oh, I don't really feel, I'm not having the same reaction as a party like situation. It's actually making me even keeled. They're like, you have.
I
okay.
didn't know that it was not normal to have your thoughts like yelling at you all
running.
the time.
Yeah.
Like as many voices, not in a schizophrenic way, Dave, yelling at you
First
at the
of
same
all,
time.
I know inner monologue.
Right. So
I
thought it
told
was-
you my battery changed yesterday in my car, and I did not put in the new radio reset code. So I drove here tonight in complete silence.
Oh my
I
God.
fucking know all about your thoughts yelling at you.
you have suffered. You have
That's-
suffered.
The inside of his car is just.
Yeah, that's got to be hard. That's very quiet. My husband has ADHD, and I was having I'm not jealous. Jealous is the wrong word, but it is nice that you can take something and focus where sometimes I just can't focus, and that's
Yeah.
that. But I had like a deadline, I need to get something done, and he's like, "Do you want one of my Adderall?" And I was like, "Yes." And I was up for 2 days from half a pill and
Yeah.
ground like half my teeth. to
Yeah.
shreds.
Snorted
Oh, yeah.
or just taken.
Probably just
Like,
taking.
as a
it.
I
pill.
just took it.
Okay.
I didn't. God, if I snorted, I mean, I don't even know. I'd still be awake. Like it was.
I'm
That would have been such a weird move. She's like, no, I've never taken one. Crash, crash, crash. Oh, I'm not. Like, it
What
seems
are
like you've
railing
taken them.
Yeah.
What are the benefits to taking a drug nasally over taking it orally?
It goes into your
It
bloodstream.
kicks
faster.
if you take it
Okay.
nasally. It hits immediately, rather than if
Nasally.
you swallow it. It's
But
got like a release coating on it.
I will say, if we are talking about drugs, I was in a situation when I was a child, a grown child in my 20s, and everybody was doing cocaine, and I did it, like, with the dollar bill and everything, and I'm sitting there having a conversation with someone, and after a couple minutes, my inner monologue is like, "What's happening? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?" And I turned to him and I was like, "What happens next? What happens when it kicks in?" And he's like, "You've never done this before?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "It looks so natural." I'm like, "All you do is sniff. Like it's not."
Yeah.
Yeah,
It doesn't take, it doesn't take a brain
it's not
surgeon.
fun. You're not like lighting anything on fire and doing a dance and a Latin incantation. Like you're
No.
just
You don't
You're-
just become a Wolf of Wall Street type and like, where are the hookers at?
I immediately was wearing a suit. It was very
Yeah.
confusing, but yeah.
I don't know. Every time I've done cocaine, I have solved all of the world's problems. So I know exactly how to fix everything.
That's
if
why
I'm honest.
W was our best president.
You always lose the notes, though. That's
Yeah,
the problem.
Yeah.
that's the problem. Yeah,
Because
it's all,
you wrote
it's
them
all
on
jumbled.
toilet paper and then you flushed it and it's a whole thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I left a voicemail to myself, but I can't make any sense of it. But I'm sure there's something there.
Ugh.
It's like the people that write stuff down after like taking acid or something. They in the moment it feels so profound, and they pop up and they're just like, dinosaurs are real. What the fuck does that mean?
I have
Like,
so many like pages in notebooks from college that are just like that, where I can tell from like how I've written it that I was unhinged on something. And then what I've written is like, wow, do you ever think like clothes are like what you put on dolls, but also you? Wow. It's like, what? It's like,
I like
Yeah,
that
what?
like 60s Carlin.
yeah, yeah, right.
You get Carlin before he got fired.
did have a
The hippy dippy weatherman. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't see Gaga Ball and drugs happening in the first like
15 minutes.
yeah 15
right?
minutes. This is great.
I told
Yeah,
you
we
we
skipped at
cover-
incredible news weeks.
We
Yeah.
did.
But now we're talking about the hard hitting issues.
Yes.
Oh, let's go.
All right,
I'm ready.
go for it. What we missed? I know it was 2 weeks ago now. We missed the debate.
We missed the debate.
Well, I didn't miss
Thank
it.
God.
I watched it just for this show.
Let's say
specifically.
I just say I watched the first 5 minutes, and then I think somewhere I paid a little bit of attention in between Googling how strong my U.S. passport is for travel abroad. I don't know how anyone could come away from that debate being excited for America.
Anything.
Anyone, no matter where you're at. I
Yeah.
don't understand how I mean, there's a lot of talk about the man that we are suddenly realizing is 81 years old now, 3 months
Suddenly.
before the election.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, so like, oh, the old man is demented. I'm surprised that we are acting like this is a revelation, but
I just don't- yeah, they're both older than Bill Clinton.
yeah, yeah.
They both should be retired is
Right.
what they should be. I was at a show and then I work in news during the day because comedy pays so many bills. And if only we could live off drink tickets. And I was leaving a show and I listened to it. Like I streamed it and listened to it, and I almost drove off the road like 300. I was just like, this is horrible. I
Yeah.
sat through the whole thing. I didn't know anybody other than coworkers who made it through the whole debate. Everyone I know was like, I couldn't handle more than like 7 minutes.
Yeah, it was rough.
I tagged in late, but I watched the whole thing, and I have
Well,
to say
You
I
missed
can't-
the real deranged shit for Biden, at least. Trump got worse as the debate
I
went
heard I
on,
missed a pause.
and Biden was like terrible.
I
for
mean,
the
I missed the
10
first
minutes.
20 minutes, but I got the rest of it.
The first 20 minutes were really bad for
Can
Joe
I
Biden.
admit?
Because the rest was fantastic.
Yeah, I was
Really
gonna
good
say,
stuff.
The
Solid
problem is
work.
the last 30 minutes was like, if you saw the first 15, I was watching it like, well, okay, it looks like he got it together a little bit. I realized like if you tag in not having seen him just babble on and not
Oh
make
my
any sense for
God.
20
Like a
minutes.
player coming off the injured list.
Yeah.
You're like, maybe he's got it.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. Like, okay, he's gonna focus more on the 3-point shots now. He's not gonna drive it in. Okay, sure. But then I realized, like, after like thinking back, I was like, oh no, I was just measuring it against that like truly disastrous like first 10 minutes where it was like, does dude know where he is right now? Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
We're not even in like a Reagan situation where basically Nancy's gonna actually run the country while
Right,
he's
yeah.
losing his fucking mind.
Well, I think that's where we're at right now, right? It has to be that it's basically for, well, maybe not for both guys, but for the one, you're basically just voting for all the people around him
Right.
Well,
rather than.
funny you should mention that. This is what I thought about to try and not cut myself gently. Was they don't in a loving way. I don't really want to do it, but there's no other
That's a
option.
good
Right.
title. That's why you're
type.
your heart out, Papa Roach. Anyway.
Is that they do this as such a like, this is the candidate, this is the person running the country, but no one is an expert. You're
Right.
only as strong a president as the people you surround yourself with.
Right.
Biden is surrounding himself with knowledgeable people,
Sure.
and Trump is surrounding
Mm-hmm.
himself with Hitler admirers and general just anarchists
Right.
and
Yeah.
CEOs.
Right. I mean, the question is like, a lot of people are like, what if Biden can't run the country versus like, what if Trump is effectively running the country as Trump? Like, these are both terrible.
Clearly trying to make it
situations.
more aristocratic, like
Right. I think-
autocracy.
It would be much better if Trump was the one who clearly didn't know where he like if he was in the room or
Right.
not, because at least then it would be like, all right, all that crazy shit he says he's not actually going to do,
Right.
but
It just backfired so much for Biden because what he didn't think about is that Trump is so confident in whatever, to quote Biden, malarkey he says, that when there's no one fact checking and no audience, it just sounds like he thinks he's telling the truth.
That's where he won the debate, I think, because
I mean,
mean,
nobody won.
the
It
minute-
was only
okay,
here's
losers,
where
but-
okay,
Yeah, that's
if you
true.
judge them by their answers alone, no, because Biden just said mumbly stuff and Trump didn't actually answer any question.
Anything, yeah.
So you had to look at their what I call their bitch please face when the
Which
other
I couldn't
person
see
was
when I was
talking.
driving, thankfully.
Trump's bitch please face, very confident, very snarky, like, and Biden's look
it
like
basically was his natural face,
Yeah.
which is an advantage for him.
and
Yeah.
Biden's bitch please face was like oh God, I think he shit himself
Yeah,
again.
like, I don't know where he's at.
He was just like, I cannot refute what you just said and answer the question in the 3 minutes that you gave
Right.
me. And Trump is like, I'm not going to answer
Yeah.
the question.
Right, it
I'm
would've
just
been-
going to say whatever I
It
want.
would have
Biden
been
needs-
hard for
yeah.
anybody, but it was impossible for Joe Biden.
Yeah.
And to me, the moment I was like really like done with the debate, I mean, like Biden was already losing, whatever, was when Donald Trump was like, they're pulling the babies out of women after 9 months and they're killing them.
Yeah.
And then Jake Tapper was like, he ended and Jake Tapper went, thank you, sir. And like, it was like, no, like, I understand, like, you're not fact checking, but you were literally going to say, thank you, sir, after he was like, they're pulling babies out and killing them. Like,
That wasn't
it's-
even the funniest thing he said.
no, yeah. there was some classic Trump drops.
Ah.
Well, the
in,
one that got, and there's, I watch lots of intentional comedies, and none of them had a laugh escape my body at this decibel level as Trump telling Biden that he's like a Palestinian.
What he
Yes,
called the
a bad
Palestinian.
Palestinian.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that to come.
Yeah.
The sound that escaped my face when he said
There was a lot of weird stuff. The like 5-minute back and forth about who's better at golf.
Oh,
I'm
that
like,
was
so we're just
fantastic.
not
It
going
was the
to
only
get
time
anybody.
Biden woke up. It was like, why the fuck are you? Why do you care about this?
Can someone tell me what's a handicap, by the way? Is it good or bad to have
It's
a
what our
lower-
president is suffering
Yes.
mentally.
I was like, I don't want to watch you play golf. I want you to race. Like, I want you to
Race?
actually race with your feet. Everybody can hold your clubs. Just run
Right.
next to each other because
Right.
Trump's never done that
What
before,
about a
and I think
bike
that'd be fun.
a bike race?
Oh,
That's
Biden,
that's
Biden would
Biden's
kick
sport,
his
but
ass.
he rides a bike. So
yeah, but I've only seen footage of him falling off.
But you've never seen any footage of Trump on one before.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And like riding a bicycle, if you've never done it before, it's not an easy thing to do.
I think
Right.
if they did, they should do it with those comical old timey bicycles where one wheel is ginormous
Oh my
and
God.
the other one's.
Unicycles.
Fine.
They should have to.
I think they
do.
should make them both do a potato sack race together, and maybe they'll learn something.
Wait, do you
about
move
each other.
unicycles or do unicycles are meant to just stay in place? I feel like.
No,
No,
unicycles
you
Move
move.
on a unit. I feel
Yeah.
like I've
It's a
seen
wheel.
jugglers. I've never actually
But
seen
they're
someone.
moving forwards and backwards.
I
so-
love this. This is great. I love it in your head because you've only seen them through jugglers. In that context,
never seen
you've
anything
only seen
they
them move
move.
back and forth.
I've never seen
over and
anyone
over
just
again.
be like, okay, I can ride a unicycle now.
That's
Good enough.
You know what? Good point. They don't have to move if they can juggle while they're sitting
Yeah.
on it. That's fair.
I
for the
assume it's
presidents.
easier to ride a bicycle than a unicycle,
Yeah,
but
probably.
people seem to be just okay with just riding the bicycle. I don't see them fucking juggling when they're doing that. Why does a unicycle have to be accompanied by juggling?
bicycle has handles. That's really the main reason.
You
That
can-
second
You
wheel,
need
you
something
kind
to
of
do
need
with
your
your
attention
hands. You need something to do with your hands.
true. Yeah.
So how do you steer? Do you steer the unicycle with your body then?
Okay, so
No, we're getting into
as
the
someone
weeds
who
here.
is, do you want me to ask? 'Cause
Have
I-
you ridden
Oh,
a
yes, I
unicycle?
did.
Yeah.
Oh no!
So-
I would like
God.
to
I'm
try.
I'm a giant dork.
And you
yes.
did magic, right?
Uh-huh.
You're
Yeah.
so good with your
I
I did.
actually need to say it.
Yeah,
I did magic.
I did.
You
did.
did tell me that, but I would have guessed that no matter what, because
Right.
those things go hand in
Yeah.
hand.
It goes great with your facial hair, by the way.
Thank you very much. I am going to be opening a circus soon. Yeah. You basically, it's just like the one wheel. I feel like they're all gone now. They're the one wheel devices that we have now. The little stand on ones.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's just you have to just basically lean into it. You would be great on one, dude. You would love it.
Are you trying to get me to destroy all this?
No, I would never. I would never. Join us.
Yeah, Dave, you never
The
saw the guy
unicycle
that
people,
went
yeah.
to college with me who went to class on a unicycle. He just moved around on his unicycle.
Did you-
That's
Yeah.
not real. That
It-
didn't happen.
He
I don't
really did.
believe
He
you.
was at Westchester University circa
Do I have to make other
2006.
unicycle? Is there like a unicycle gang you can join?
I
There
100%.
should be.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Can you imagine that in West Philly? Just people being like, I don't. What is
I have-
the goal? What's the end goal here?
Seems like
Before-
one of them Clockwork Orange or fucking the Warriors gang.
You have
Yeah,
to wear
right?
bowler hats. If
Yeah.
you're a gang on unicycles, you all have to wear.
Yeah,
bowler
honestly, I'd be more scared of a gang on unicycle. Like if you were walking like down the street at night
Mhm.
and you saw like
Ooh,
7 dudes
good
on
call, yeah.
unicycles coming up to you, that's not delightful. That's scary.
Damn.
because
thought-
I'd
yeah.
stop and ask questions.
Right.
Whereas if there was a gang, I wouldn't be like, let's have a nice little tete-a-tete. You know
Right,
what I
you'd
mean?
start moving faster.
yeah,
You'd
yeah.
get out
but
of
I'm
here.
like, I don't understand what's happening, and I
Right.
need to before I decide
Yeah.
whether to run
Right.
or.
I
Yeah.
normally hate remaking classic movies, but if you remake one of them and put a unicycle gang in, I kind of think I'm on board with
we
it.
should reboot the movie that's already out right now. What is it? The biker movie that's out.
Bike riders.
The bike riders. It should be the Uni Riders.
What if,
Damn it.
What if they did Wild
I was going to
Hogs?
see that. Well, I was going to see that on Sunday, but then my fucking car battery. So I couldn't tell you if it would transition well to a
If it
good
would
unicycle.
What
themed
about
movie.
like Mad Max? Like any of those
Yeah.
movies
Oh,
where
yeah.
they're
Yeah.
just like,
You just swap it out with unicycles.
yeah.
J100? And
I don't know
if
how well it
anybody-
goes
yeah.
on stands. Neil, do you?
Yeah, no, you can get one on
Okay.
Sam.
God,
Okay.
It
Why
just
do-
has to have one of those big beach bike tires.
Yeah, it's just got
That's
a
the
big beach bike
difference.
tire that just
Yeah.
basically turns. It's
I hope
really
the franchise
nice.
isn't dead now because Furious
probably
did terrible at
is.
the fucking
It was
box
so
office.
good,
It was a great
though.
movie.
It was
too,
a
yeah.
really good movie.
But now George Miller will never get to realize his Mad Max unicycle dream.
Yeah. Yeah. It is sad the last we saw of Mad Max was just like a silhouette in Furiosa's movie, but it is what it is. You know, maybe perhaps the new president will legally have George Miller assassinated. No way. I
Well,
don't
if
want
one
that.
president is in charge, that's definitely in the cards. I think.
Yeah, that's the other big news that we missed. Is the reason why I bring it up is now the president can assassinate people. It was always sort of a
Never-
understood thing, but now we've officially said the president can kill his way to the top.
Anything you do is fine
legal.
if you're president.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's legal. You can just do things.
That's right. Well, yeah, right. Well, no, they said it is legal. It does not. It's all legal.
So it was an unwritten rule. Now it's just written.
Basically, that's
So-
that's the argument that everyone. It's pretty bad when the argument for the ruling is they could kill anyone anyway. It's like, yeah, I guess, but
Yeah.
it's still, I think, made you feel a little better when there was like, if he tried to kill a bunch of people, someone would stop him. Well,
My
no,
apartment
probably not.
building could just be full of terrorists.
Sure.
Yeah, if that's what it needs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we were spitballing at work about some things that Biden could do with his new powers, like maybe put a moat around the White House and fill it with sharks.
Yeah.
Like lots of
Yeah.
interesting stuff that you could do. You
Hell
could
yeah.
make like all of the undocumented, like all the migrants, they could stay at the Mar-a-Lago.
Oh yeah, right.
Like there's a lot you could do, but you're just like, I'm
Absolutely.
president and I can do what I want.
I don't know
so.
if the shark. I mean, based on this past weekend alone, people seem to like swimming with sharks. I think there was 37 shark attacks this weekend.
Yeah, there were a lot of shark attacks this
It's
4th
so
of July.
hot. Everybody's like, I don't care. I will take the risk if I can get in water and it can be less than 105 degrees on my body.
4 of them happened at the same place. I figured after 1 or 2,
You'd stop
you're
getting
like,
would
in.
think. You would
Yeah.
think.
still blood in the water.
But you know what? Jaws teaches us that definitely isn't what happens. They keep the beaches open.
Mhm.
You tell them to close them. They say no thanks. Good people die. That's the way it
Gotta
always
make that
happens.
money.
Yeah,
What a
that's right.
prophetic movie.
Yeah,
Jaws
Jaws,
was.
Jaws knew what was up. Jaws knows they never close the beaches. Not
Yeah.
during the
Based on
holidays.
a real story.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wait, was Jaws? Was what weekend? Was it July 4th weekend? for Jaws too?
No, I think it was the beginning of summer. I think it was the first
Okay.
weekend of summer.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they weren't going to close the beaches, because the town Amity's livelihood or whatever was on the line. So the mayor said, and I believe the mayor. I'm on team mayor when it comes to Jaws.
All right, so if like thousands flocked there, and there was what three deaths in that movie anyway. Nah.
If you don't count the guys that
Percentage-
went out to hunt the shark, yeah, I think 3 people get eaten.
You know what's funny too is that you think like back then, like maybe they just like wanted to like push it under the rug or the wave or whatever. They can just keep going. But now we have social media. So like if there's a shark attack on a beach, you would know about it. And yet
Yeah.
people still were like, it's fine, I'm hot.
Yeah.
And they
They
just
want to get a selfie with the shark.
with
Yeah.
Dude, how about Jaws pops out of the water, click. That's
Your goal. That's
you're
viral.
the new Hawk
That's-
Tua girl.
They're-
Oh.
Damn, you're really good on these segues. You're nailing them today, because we also wanted to talk about the other danger that's happening to this country. The Hawk Tua girl is being mainstreamed now.
she's doing great.
Getting a stand-up tour.
Is she? No, stop it.
I heard about the
Yeah.
reality show. She's also
That was what I heard.
she
that he-
wants a stand-up comedy tour.
I just read something today and that she's doing really well with the merchandising and she's smart about it. Like with the merch, she doesn't want her face on any of it, because why would you possibly want your face
Right.
associated with that?
with Hawk Tua.
But I thought a lot of it is just like people are saying stuff happens, but it's not definitely happening. I mean, it's like to get a stand-up tour, don't you have to do something?
No,
I've-
Stormy Daniels had a 30 city comedy club tour when she
But
was
she's
talking
got
about.
stories.
That is true.
Tua is a factory worker
That's
who's
true.
like 20.
That's true.
I've
Good
opened
point.
for 2 influencers and they were not talking about it. They were talking about they were trying to do actual material, and I fucking 10 years in at that time.
Oh God.
Had to open. Well, I didn't
Yeah.
have to. You know, I'm a
But-
whore,
but that was the best slot available to you. Is what
Oh
you're
my
saying,
God.
yeah.
How many times now are you opening for someone who is a social media sensation?
Of course, yeah.
That's the only title I ever see.
I've
Yeah.
opened for Lilo Brancato, the fucking
Oh, there you go.
actor from Bronx Tale,
There you
who
go.
just told a story about him and his buddies trying to steal heroin and shooting an off-duty cop.
Nice.
The Seriously
Defriended.
Dad guys just opened up for a but before we did the live
Yeah.
podcast, which by the way I think that's out now.
Oh, that
so
wasn't a comedian they were opening for.
well, technically he's a
He's from
comedian,
Kill Tony.
but no, he was a Fox News. He's Fox News Saturday night
What?
host. It was
This is out in Pottstown, so
this
it was huge in that.
yeah. They filled the fucking room. There was like 1,500 people there or something.
I've
to see
never
this dude.
struggled to find
I've never heard of
parking
this.
there.
Yeah, same. I never
Wait,
heard
what's
of
the
this
guy's
dude.
name?
I forget.
It's like close to Jimmy Fallon. That's why
Yeah.
I don't know.
Apparently he's our friend Al Davis said he was a really cool guy, but it's just crazy because it's like that guy basically hosts, he's a Fox News host. Why is he trying to be a comedian? That's the other thing is like
I mean, they have one funny in
Yeah.
quotes comedian that has a show on that. Why can't there be another?
I guess
one?
that's true. But I feel like what makes me mad is this idea that everyone thinks this shit's so fucking easy.
easy. Yeah.
Everyone goes, oh, I'll just do comedy. Oh, it's like this shit ain't easy.
We've
Like,
talked
what-
about every artist that gets into it's either comedy or painting.
Yes.
Everybody
Yeah.
thinks they could become a comedian or a painter.
Yep. Yeah.
Fucking-
My girlfriend and I, one of the only times she ever was like, I don't like the way that you were being right now. We watched a reality show called Love is Blind.
Mhm.
And these people basically don't see each other. They have to propose to each other just by talking to each other. Then they have to have their honeymoon and their wedding. Chaos ensues. No one likes each other. It's great. There was this one girl, her name was Jessica, just cookie cutter reality star, asshole,
Mhm.
pretentious white woman. I went to check her out on Instagram, and her thing was like, you may have seen me on this comedian.
Ooh.
And I had so many things to say about her. Let's just say I used some gendered language in that
Understandable.
conversation.
Mhm.
My girlfriend was like, I normally don't care when you say these things, but like, I really like seriously tone it down. I don't like the way you're talking. And I realized like it was because I was so mad that she had the fucking gall to call herself a comedian. So I know what you mean. There's something particularly like thorny about that. I don't give a shit about the reality show. I don't give a shit about Hawk Tuah Girls, whatever.
Yeah.
It's the fact that they think that they could just fucking waltz in and fucking do this,
But
and they can.
I know that's the thing about comedy that's such a mess is if you're doing it well, it looks easy.
Mhm.
It looks like you're not trying. I don't think painting looks easy at any point because I can't do stick figures. But
Yeah.
like that's the thing. Like I have had so many people come up and be like, I don't think women are funny, but you're funny. Also, I'd like to try it because my friends think I'm
Oh,
funny.
God,
that
yeah.
happens a lot too.
Yeah.
Like I'm a gateway drug for them into comedy.
And
but-
then all their dipshit friends show up to their first open mic, and you're like the fucking audience from Married with Children when they get like,
Yeah.
like, yo, fucking killing it, bro. No, you
No,
have
you're
your
not.
fucking
No,
cluster.
you're not.
Right.
Who love you and care about what you have to say, but no one else does.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, that's the thing is that it looks easy, so then people think they can do it. And the thing is, you get these big opportunities when you make an impact in social media. So like, if you choose to use it the right way, you can become good at it.
Sure. Right. Yeah.
But
I think that's true. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head, but I know of people, they're just not coming to mind, who did that. They got big as a as a comedian, but they
Bo-
actually gave a shit about it.
Bo Burnham.
Yeah, that's a good example. Yeah. And
I think that's it.
Pinky Patel, I think, started doing videos during the pandemic,
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
it caught on, and then she got opportunities to open, like to headline at clubs, and leaned into it. And
Yeah.
from what I've been told, is good. But
Don't forget the lip sync lady.
Oh God, that might have been the most egregious of the hey, you have one thing online that went viral, let's give you a special. But like she paid in the way that people pay, which is like the Brendan Schaub, perfect example. Like he was advanced well beyond his
Just
talent.
retired.
You're right. He just retired. You pay because comedy is something that ultimately you can fake the career, right? You can fake the bookings because these clubs don't give a fuck as long as asses are in seats. But you
Exactly.
can't fake the special. Like your special will live or die based on how good it is.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Like even Matt Rife, who had like every fucking thing. Now he was fucking himself up in the PR related to that going up to that special, but he had everything. He did exactly what made him popular in all those clips in that
And then
special.
he didn't. And then you're like, oh, you should just do the
You
crowd
should-
work.
I have
'cause he's
no problem.
really good at the crowd work.
Yeah.
I mean, he really is. But the
Everything-
Yeah,
material-
well, that's
other
why.
stuff,
Yeah,
yeah.
if you get a leash for being kind of generic with your crowd work responses, because that's got to be off the cuff. If you're generic with planned out material,
Exactly.
Right. People
Yeah.
aren't forgiving of that.
but I have
Yeah.
no problem with what he said to that 6-year-old. The 6-year-old, what he corrected him about Neptune or being a place. He's like, all right, that 6-year-old knows what's going on a billion miles from here. He knows what his mom's doing down the hall. Come on.
I tend to try to give grace to people who fight with people online because it's so easy to do. And people are such assholes.
I don't engage anymore.
So, yeah.
There's two outcomes of me talking to someone who's leaving shitty comments. I become dumber or they become smarter. And I know the fucking latter is not happening at
Yeah.
all. So
I thought I had found the solution, which is just to write okay dipshit back to every comment that you don't like. And then that's it. And if they say something again, and they always do, you
Mhm.
just write, okay, dipshit. And you just show to them, I'm going to keep calling you dipshit. I don't care about you. You know who doesn't like that? Jack Dorsey of Twitter. And that's why I'm banned from
Oh,
Twitter.
really?
Because if you post okay dipshit to people 50 times and don't take the warning messages seriously,
They put you in prison.
they put you in.
Not even jail. Prison.
Elon will let me out if I want to, but I have no desire to go
yeah, but
back.
you probably have more faith in humanity than the rest of us that are on Twitter. Like I don't post on.
It's
I
good
I
to
see
not be on
something. I'm
Twitter.
like, no, just avoid it. Don't click because you'll just get pissed off at how stupid people are. And then I fucking click every time.
Yeah,
yeah.
I know what you mean.
It just makes you so sad inside. And then you've lost like 2 days of your life.
I
And
know.
Oh, it's rabbit holes after rabbit
Yeah.
holes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, I support a full news detox, except for comedy podcasts about the news. You should consume more of those.
I think you figured it out. I think that's what they were like. Oh my God, someone finally figured it out. You just say whatever dipshit ever and over again. They're like, we got to get this guy off.
This
here, dude.
guy's
He's-
too
yeah, he
powerful.
He gamed the system.
He's too powerful.
He's
Yeah.
becoming the algorithm.
Did you figure that out when you were on drugs and then you wrote it down and you're like, this is good? And then
Yeah,
you-
right. I had Twitter for 10 years and I only used it when I was locked down from COVID because I had nothing better to do. So I feel like I took a like rush course of Twitter and like what it does to you. Oh, and it was right around the last election. So I immediately got my problem is that, and I have this problem in all social media. I'm getting better at it, but it's very hard to stare at people that are so wrong
Mm.
and just let them be that wrong. And it's something that's very, I think maybe it's a 90s thing. You're drilled to be like, no, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Let me show you how you're wrong. And then maybe be like, you fucking idiot. But like online, it's useless. There's no point. We have no guarantee that the people being wrong are even fucking real anymore.
Yeah.
So it could just be a robot pretending to be wrong to make you mad. So it just doesn't.
I want to. Yeah, I also remember that I have my picture and my name on my thing, and not anime. And so I'm like, oh, these people could fly from somewhere and hit me with a hammer.
That's true.
They could.
Yeah.
That's real commitment, though. I
That
mean,
happened.
really.
To you?
No,
Yeah. Why? do
some
you think
gamer,
he's-
some gamer from New
Oh.
Jersey flew down to Florida and beat another gamer with a hammer.
What happened to swatting people?
And
You
I
know what
was-
I mean?
That was literal.
He's like, I need to know more before I pass judgment.
Yeah, what was said? Because I've definitely seen some comments where like, man,
Man,
if I
wish,
knew who
yeah,
you were, fuck you.
I wish I could fly across the country and beat you with a hammer. Right?
God.
Which are you on the are you on all the socials or?
I'm on the so I mean, like at this point, really, like I was a big Twitter user, and then Elon Musk took over, and I'm like, I don't want to be part of this anymore.
Yeah.
But I not enough to deactivate my account. I just
Yeah.
let it float in space and just be like, I remember.
Yeah.
But I'll like Instagram and Facebook. But I use it like I would be happier if I didn't have to use it.
Oh,
but
definitely.
for comedy, you can't not use it.
Yeah.
So like I don't post pictures of my kids. I don't like so every so often I'll share something, but usually it's just for shows and stuff. And it's a bummer because I feel like it used to be like, especially Twitter, it used to be a great place to get information and share information and find like-minded communities and stuff. But now it's just a
Not
fucking
anymore.
mess.
God, I can't help like I don't meet many people like this, but you meet someone and they're never actually like super cool. Like they don't seem very cool, but they're like, I'm not on social media, and that's fuck, that sounds cool. Like when someone's like, no, I just don't do it. I don't like it. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck, that's cool,
You're like,
man.
so when something happens, you just don't show strangers that you're doing it.
Yeah.
You just live that experience.
Let me get this straight. You keep your opinions to yourself?
What?
Huh?
That's not what opinions.
I mean,
are
I
meant
do envy
for.
these people, but at the same time, I don't know what to fucking talk to them about.
Yeah.
It's like, so how about that hawk to it?
At least they're right. It gives you some shared
Yeah.
sense of community and a
But the thing too,
disassociated
like
world.
when you get in these online fights, is if you go down the right rabbit holes, you can back up anything you're saying.
oh yeah.
And so, like, I mean, really, like, you're never going to change anybody's mind.
No, right.
I appreciate it now when someone is like, I love Trump. And I'm like, this is great. This is going to be a short conversation.
No, right. Yeah.
We're
yeah,
not going to change each other's minds and hearts, and that's fine. But I don't need to waste my time with you anymore.
Right. I could have in another life been a great troll. And occasionally I've gotten into arguments with trolls and like been like,
Like
I'm
an
gonna
actual one that lives under a bridge.
Yes, yeah. I know, like an internet dipshit.
You may not
Yeah.
pass.
A true internet dipshit. And they've been like,
They live under something.
yeah. True. They're
Empty Mountain Dew containers.
right.
I
But
think.
I've gotten
They've built a fort.
A
of them.
fortress.
yeah,
Yes,
right.
Yes.
That they come out from them. I've gotten into fights with a few trolls that at the end of it we've gone at each other and the guy's been like, all right. It's been like, this has been one of the most toxic exchanges I've had in years. Thank you. And it's
I
like
feel dirty,
to you as well.
and you're
Yeah.
like, you're welcome.
It's like you ran up against someone who has done comedy for 10 years. So I'm as jaded and mean as you are.
We are
but-
opposites. We are equals.
yeah, exactly. Like I just get my fucking jaded bullshit out in front of real people that have shown up to a bar not to see comedy.
Well, I don't think I've met like any of these full-on parody people in person.
Yeah, they're very rare. I have met a few, like my uncle is one of them, like
Yeah.
a Republican parody person, but like very, very few.
Yeah, my cousin via cousin, so we're not related at
Yeah.
all. Just my cousin's cousin on the. Yeah, she's online. Huge fucking Trump calls Michelle Obama Big Mike shit like that. But I see her at family shit. She's normal-ish.
I hate
They
that the
always are when they're quiet.
right. I hate
She's
that
not
the
that
Michelle
quiet.
Obama is trans conspiracy like tickles me. I hate that I like that one. Like it's just so silly and stupid, and it doesn't all predicated on the fact that she has slightly muscular
Yeah.
arms. That's it. That's
She's
it.
One of the hotter first ladies
Yeah.
we've had.
Right. I don't get it. I
You
think
don't.
it's
You
fun.
don't get any hard on for Jill at all.
I mean, I have to see a younger picture.
Jill was hot. Jill was hot when she was younger. Jill seems like she's a really
Hey,
good wife.
I
There
like
aren't
young
many-
Hillary too.
Yeah. Hillary when Bill was
With the-
dating her. What? She was good. She was good. Like,
Sorry,
you know,
Hillary was,
know
a,
about
Hillary
how
was a
hot-
first lady, and only a first because she lost to Trump.
Right.
Yeah.
I got you.
yeah. I mean, by default, she would have been the hottest president.
Well, she's always had
Uh,
weird hair, though. She's always had like weird politician hair.
Yeah. No, and just weird. She just everything she did
didn't
was
rock
like
the
weird and
Rachel.
fake.
but-
Okay, I just want to. I do want to circle back though because your hesitancy makes me curious. As by default, she would be the hottest president.
Hillary, no, like I mean,
What you went and you went.
I
so
mean,
who would you say was
because men
higher?
can be hot too.
That's
Yes, they
true.
can.
That's
So
true.
JFK, he was a good-looking guy.
Okay,
right?
so we're just talking about objective
before.
hotness, not subjective. So would you
Clinton
rather
was a
fuck?
good. Bill
Well,
was a
we
good.
are we talking living or dead? Is the question.
That's true. Yeah.
Bill, Barack were
Yeah,
good-looking guys.
Okay, but would you
Bill never
rather
did it for
fuck
me.
Barack Obama or Hillary Clinton? Gun to your head.
I feel like
Gun to your head. You have to have sex with one of them. Who are you having sex with? And no judgment if you choose Barack.
I was going to
just-
choose Barack.
as a yeah. Okay.
I feel like that crosses a few things
But-
off my list.
But his wife, who's a woman, would kick your ass.
That is true with those muscular
Muscular
arms. Yeah,
arms.
she
Yes,
will
she
fuck
would.
That would
you
cross another thing off my list.
Because the problem is when you go low, she goes high. So that's
Ah.
Michelle Obama humor. Yeah, you know what? I'm giving you shit just for as the bit. I would also fuck Barack Obama before I fuck
okay,
Hillary
who's
Clinton.
We'll ask you who's the hottest. If Hillary is elected president,
Hoover.
who's our hottest
No,
president?
Herbert Hoover. Some
I don't know. I
Depression
can't
era
remember
dick
what he
there.
looks like off the top.
He was. He was an old white guy. I know that sounds
They
very
all are.
dismissive. Yeah, but
I
Last
mean,
I
generally
found-
speaking.
Oh, that's he's got a jowl.
Look at that. I love that. You just gotta pull.
I do want to pinch his cheeks a little bit.
yeah, a little
Right?
bit,
he
a
might be
little
the most adorable
Oh, you would
president,
have slept on
bit.
especially with the name Herbert. Herbert's in it, and
I
it's
want to
in
play
a,
with
Herbie.
this really strong
Yeah.
part and push it on the other side and be like, what do you think about that? What are you going to do about it now?
it's an alliterative name.
We're gonna bully Herbert.
All right, we have our cutest president right here.
Okay,
But
he's
not our
adorable. He's
hottest.
a little
I
cherub.
mean,
but
Teddy
yeah.
was cute too. But yeah, no, I mean, I think Obama was, and it still is, an
One of the hottest.
attractive man.
He actually kind of de-aged a little bit after he left the office too.
He
So,
did.
yeah.
He like it
Yes,
was
he
the
was-
office aged him, but then he somehow got
He
like 5 years
de-stressed.
younger.
Yeah,
He
he's still fucking windsurfing, right?
yeah.
And
yeah,
he looked
yeah,
good with
yeah.
his shirt off.
JFK
I mean, when he left-
was attractive, but his accent really bothered me.
Oh yeah.
Boston's
sure.
not a
It's
hot
not a hot
accent.
accent.
It is
at
not.
all, yeah.
It is
What
not.
is what's the hot accent? Because like dudes,
Joe Biden was hot, Neil.
I
I,
mean,
keep
yeah.
doing this up, and you're right. Joe
I'm
Biden was
feeling it
hot
up.
It's
Yeah, but
weird.
we're
It looks
talk-
like someone superimposed
Yeah.
his face on someone
we're talking
else's
about
face.
while they're in
as
office.
they're in office.
Oh,
right?
well.
Yeah, but right. But
Was
Biden, I
he hot
agree.
Back in the day, that's actually it's a ranker. Fantastic.
Yeah,
Biden,
it's
Biden was a smoke show. Who won number one in this ranker?
Oh, JFK.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
Was
But he
Abe
would have been bothered by his
Also
back.
knowing he's
Even
a
in-
dirty man. You know,
Yeah.
he was up to things.
Abe even contemporaneously would joke about how he was ugly.
well, what's
so.
the best man? Because dudes we like the Southern accent, obviously by who,
Hawk to a girl.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I
has
mean
proven.
I've driven, and it is just it's fucking sexy
So you
goddamn
would
accent.
have sex with Lyndon Johnson? That's what you're saying?
Is he have the Southern?
Wow,
yeah, why
you
not?
would- I can give you one big reason why not. Lyndon Johnson.
Cross that off the list too.
Okay. there
So
you
what's
go.
the best man accent?
I don't know. I mean, non-American accents are great,
Yeah.
So
yeah,
which
German?
really limits
Yeah.
the presidents because most of them, tend to be American. but
Right, you
There's
just-
kind of like legal stuff to how you can become a president.
Not enough swarthy
So
Spaniards.
if
running for
Schwarzenegger got to
president,
be
you know.
president, though, is that the hottest presidential accent?
That's not a good accent.
Yeah, that one's the.
It is. I mean, I do. I like accents that are not American accents. I was in Australia. I lived there for a bit, and I was with a bunch of friends who were all American. And these Australian guys came over, and they're like, "Are you really American?" And we're like, "You think we'd make up these accents?" And they're like, "Oh!" And we were talking to them, and within like 5 minutes, they're like, "It is an annoying accent. Can you stop?" We're like, "We wish we could.
Wish I
No,
could,
the
yeah.
Australian accent's nice too. Like
It's great."
that's how Margot Robbie didn't want to be taken seriously as an actress though, because she's got the sexy. She's like, I'm going to talk Brooklyn.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
if people still like me, then I'm a
If
good
they, yeah,
actress.
if I can speak in an American accent and people still think I'm the
I don't know.
hottest person.
The Irish? The Irish? Anything?
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's
Brogue,
great.
yeah.
It depends on
that-
where.
that
Do other
Irish
accents
brogue.
have a name like because they have a
Right.
brogue, right? Do,
Scottish and Irish get that, and I don't
do-
think
do-
anything else.
yeah, it's
yeah.
like-
do we have Jews have the nasal?
I don't think they have a
It's
romantic.
not an accent though. It's just
It's-
intonation.
Yeah.
I think maybe.
They call it an ugh.
Yeah.
On that note, I think we got-
Okay.
on that note, we got to go to the news, everybody.
Okay, you hanging.
Okay, hey, we're here at the news section for our viewers at home who have seen this before. You know what's going on. Emily, I'll give you the rundown. Dave and I have written 12 jokes about the news. Dave is hiding them in a book we're about to plug.
No, this is my best friend's book, so I got to write the foreword, and I just filled it with all these jokes, and it's in the middle of the book.
So you filled the forward of a book with topical jokes written about this
Yes.
week. Okay.
Crochet Secrets. It's read it.
We'll plug that at the end of the show.
This
So
is
there's
just
a
for
reason. Yeah, there is a reason he's using that book as a prop. We'll deal with it later. 12 jokes about the news. I don't know what Dave wrote. Dave doesn't know what I wrote. In fact, we haven't spoken in about 2 weeks, other than when you drunkenly messaged me to tell me that we should do a show drunk, and then the next morning messaged me to say
Never
how
mind.
bad of an
That's
idea
not
that
a good
was.
idea.
That was the only communication we've had in 2 weeks.
I got in a screaming match at Buffalo Wild Wings. I thought this could be pretty funny.
What you should have done is recorded the screaming match at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Now
and
my
played
friends
that
don't
as
want to be on
Content, baby. All right. Well, that's
bonus. That's bonus
yeah.
material.
That's why you won't be in the forward of the second printing of that book.
That's true.
But anyway, if Dave and I have written a joke about the same news story, we have a joke off. Joking each other off. And that little graphic, we're not wearing headsets, but a crazy little sound plays. And then Dave and I will have to go head to head with our joke. If we're joking each other off, Emily, that means you are the judge, jury, and executioner.
Ooh, I love power.
Basically, you pick your favorite one. We keep track. I'm winning, so it's all good.
Okay.
I won.
All right, Dave, would you like to go first?
Mid-row color change. The standard. Oh wait, fuck. All right. Oh no.
I'm like, that's a crochet secret. is
Yeah.
It's
what
a
it
hard
is.
way to start the forward right there.
Matthew Perry death investigation nears conclusion. Multiple people should be charged, according to report, which is typical for Perry, who's known for not being able to do anything without including at least 5 of his friends.
Mhm.
You're gonna have that reaction.
This
to
is
a
good.
lot
I
more
like
of
that.
these.
I always like what reactions the guests will have being an audience of one comedian listening to weekly news jokes. And when we get the honest reactions, it's always fun. Okay. Where am I at? All right. Israel approves largest West Bank land grab in 30 years. And I think I speak for all of the American left when I say, who cares? We've got a much better way to shit on Joe Biden after those debates.
All right, I'm gonna take the book away from this one because she probably doesn't want the association.
Oh my. Oh my.
Here we go.
Kenya's police shoot at protesters as they storm parliament against new taxes, which was unnecessary since all they had to do was fire that pistol into the air and all the Kenyans would have run 26.2 miles in the other
Oh
direction.
my gosh.
Terrible. Terrible joke. I love it.
I knew I shouldn't have, but I was like, it's funny.
I'm
It's
glad
funny.
that your friend will appreciate that you're not associating her lovely crochet book with your horrible Kenyan jokes. All right. Oh, this is a good one. Support for legal abortion has risen since the Supreme Court eliminated Roe v. Wade, polls find. Though other polls of 9 Supreme Court justices find support also rising for Trump's legal right to eliminate people who support abortion.
All right,
We covered all my jokes this week. That's pretty good.
sweet. Justin Timberlake spots Martin Scorsese from stage in New York City. Quote, "The goat came to see me." Although his acknowledgement of Scorsese made many of his critics point out that, yes, in fact, he is aware of the existence of taxi drivers.
I was a little nervous when you had a Scorsese joke coming on.
I would
Usually
never
I'm the
make
one.
fun of him.
Yeah, usually
No.
I'm the one shitting on Scorsese, but you didn't.
I totally thought you were gonna go in a different direction.
Yeah, it's Dave's mind works in an unusual
That
way.
he was
sometimes.
gonna that he noticed Scorsese, unlike the cop that arrested Timberlake didn't recognize.
Oh
him.
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
right. I forgot about that aspect of the
Yeah.
story.
I forgot about that whole story. It's
Oh, that's why.
the world tour is ruined.
Mhm.
We didn't talk about that escaped us. That was one of the I think
That was
stories
one of the 2 weeks
that we
that
missed
fell
on
down
the 2 weeks.
hole there.
We'll come back. He'll DUI.
It's
Sleeping-
timeless. It
Yeah.
really is. Justin
He's not going to
Timberlake.
stop.
Remember,
All right.
filth, sleep in filth, builds up the immune system.
All right. The Kansas Supreme Court rules that abortion rights are in the Constitution after a tornado whisked them away to a magical world where they made friends and learned that legal ownership of their bodies was inside them the whole time.
Nice. Put the book down for this one. Driver wearing Jason mask arrested on illegal assault rifle charge, police say, which begs the question, did Camp Crystal Lake get replaced with an elementary school? Back to the book.
More than 1 million without power as Hurricane Beryl thrashes Houston. With no electricity, no running water, lawless streets, and death around every corner, residents of East Texas say it makes them feel like residents of Central Texas.
Kind of fucking name is Beryl.
Beryl. That's what I was thinking. I was like, really? We've run out
Yeah.
of all
Yeah.
of them?
I
Yeah.
would not be threatened by a
By
fucking
Beryl.
Beryl.
There's a
Yeah.
comedian that had that joke. I don't know who it is. It was so long ago. I think it was when I was a kid. But the joke was they need to name like hurricanes threatening names. We've got to stop giving them these sweet, cute
Hurricane
names.
Bernice.
Yeah, right. It's
Hilda.
like boring.
Bernice.
Yeah.
Oh, Hurricane Bernice is coming.
I know.
Yeah.
It's going to smell like cookies.
Right. Not scary.
All right. Biden says travel schedule before debate the reason he almost fell asleep on stage, which he says he will rectify at the next debate by having someone carry him from the car to the stage.
France elects a leftist government in a stunning rejection of the hard right. showing the world a center-left coalition can fight off the violent oppression of fascism. To which America says, yeah, nah.
Here's a cute one. And it's actually okay. Study links popular weight loss drugs to debilitating eye condition. They wanted to demonstrate how much these drugs suppress your appetite by literally making your eyes bigger than your stomach.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
An oppressive blanket of heat has settled over the Northeast, shattering heat records everywhere. And while it could be a reminder of global warming, COVID taught us that if your disaster keeps everyone inside and only kills old people, we will get over it pretty quickly.
All right. I'm only putting the book down because of the fold, not because this one's
Okay.
Shark attacks 4 people at Texas beach on 4th of July, according to police. Which gives us indisputable proof that human beings aren't the only species that like to gorge themselves on the holidays.
Finally, a shark that I can sympathize with. John Cena announces official retirement after the next WrestleMania. This man had so many more good years in him, and he abruptly exits. Is there anything he won't do to sympathize with the Make-A-Wish kids?
Oh,
I knew you would like that one, Dave.
Of course. All right. Do you know basketball? You want to go? Okay. This is more if you know. NBA player ejected from Olympic tune-up after placing hands around fellow pro's neck. The Olympic Committee told him the Olympics is no place for players who have demonstrated such violent tendencies. But on the plus side, the Charlotte Hornets are very interested in you right now.
Who was it? I missed that story.
I don't know who the player. I was referencing Miles Bridges, who got a huge contract with the Hornets, and he did some horrendous shit.
Yeah. Who are you to? Oh, but you
I don't know who the
actually
French
choked
player.
the-
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, I did read that story though.
I didn't see
It
that
wasn't Victor Wembanyama.
No.
I would have assumed they would have used him by name.
If it was Victor Wembanyama, he could have choked someone in France from here into
he
the
could have-
America.
Just with his 2 fingers.
Yeah, he
just-
could choke. Yeah, he's not choking one person.
Yeah.
I don't even think he could close his hands enough to get around the neck.
The amount of time it would take for him, you'd see it coming, and you could get out
Right,
of the
you'd be
way
able
in
to
time.
slip out.
It was Rudy Gobert.
Oh, okay.
The only other French player.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say it had to be really good, right? Target will stop accepting personal checks, angering some customers who say if you're gonna put up a target, you gotta expect something to bounce. There you go. That was my cute one of the week.
All right. Radio station parts ways with host after admitting White House gave her questions before Biden interview. And the fact that the public has never heard that Biden needs his food chewed before it's served to him may finally provide us clues onto why that one White House chef mysteriously died.
Oh.
Wasn't it Obama that killed that chef?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it was an Obama.
I like how you're reading like,
Yeah.
yes.
I
he
was like,
did.
no, he didn't kill him, but
Yeah, right.
yeah,
It was
no,
Obama
he
chef.
the guy that
drowned.
drowned.
Yeah,
They
Yeah.
could be chef for more than one president, right?
I guess so.
Stop fucking poking holes in these
Sorry.
jokes.
That's okay. That's
Sorry.
okay. Here's a joke. This thing's a Swiss watch. You won't find a hole in this joke. Okay. The trial for rapper Young Thug has stalled as the state misfiles briefs. Young Thug's lawyers worry that by the time this trial concludes, he may become normally aged Thug.
Oh, I felt that one coming.
Yeah.
All right, this joke sucks, but my mom sent me the story, so I felt obligated to
I've
try
done a
and
few of
cut-
those
yeah.
jokes in the past.
South Carolina man dies after lighting firework on top of his head to show off. Even worse, an off with his head death on the 4th of July feels like such a victory for the monarchy.
That's good. I like that one. That was one I wanted to write a joke about, but I was just like, I don't know what to. It's too close to home. People losing fingers and heads over fireworks. It's my culture right there.
That means you're allowed to talk about it.
I know, but
Yeah.
it's just like,
Excuse me, I'm allowed
I
to joke about that. I am white trash. Thank you.
I just
This
think
is
about all the
lived
good men. we
experience
lost.
for me.
Yeah, I just think about all the good men we lost. It's not a joking matter. Church gives away AR-15 rifle as part of 4th of July raffle. Great news for the white evangelicals who think Jesus just didn't have enough holes put in him.
All right, here's one I have to kind of emote into.
Do you need to like stretch or get in character?
I should, but I'm not because I only work out in the dark.
Dave's act outs. Dave's act outs are usually like a 2 on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
It just is slightly
Yeah.
more
Dave
exaggerated.
has to work out with like
There, I did one.
He's got to work out in a cave.
Jessica Springsteen, daughter of rock legend Bruce Springsteen, snubbed from Paris Olympics, which for her was a shame as she fell in love with equestrian sports ever since her dad first sang her first lullaby. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I should have stretched though. I did forget that I had
It's
to.
okay.
I forgot that I
You
had.
forgot
to,
that you were doing an
halfway
act
through.
out?
Yeah. I don't.
I
do
hate
that
when they
often.
sneak up on you, even though
Right.
you announce
Yeah.
that they're going to
You've
happen.
written it. You
Yeah.
know what's going to happen, and
It's
you
that
still can't do it.
ADHD. I tells you.
Yeah, you pulled your back out from that joke, buddy.
Yeah.
God damn.
Nicolas Cage says he's terrified by artificial intelligence and says, quote, "I don't want you to do anything with my face and body after I'm dead," which is strange news from an actor who looks like he'd do something with your face and body after you're dead.
Nice.
All right, last one. Justin Bieber reportedly paid $10 million to perform at pre-wedding celebration in Mumbai for billionaire heir, which some artists may turn down due to safety concerns. But Justin figured, hey, I already survived having Alec Baldwin at my own wedding.
My last joke here. Tyler Perry weighs in on the 2024 election, saying, quote, "What's important to me is that America remains a democracy." The producer went on to say, quote, "But I am a businessman, so next summer look out for my new movie, Medea Hiller's Hitler."
That was a
And
good
you
act
didn't even
out.
announce
Yeah,
your
you
act
did a
out.
little
Yeah.
hilarious.
You did it with so much
Yeah, I
less
do.
effort.
You know, I do
Because
the
he
act
didn't
out.
announce it.
That's right.
He's
I
just
think you
more,
got in your own
It's
head.
an act out coming.
he's just
yeah.
more emotive than I am.
That's true. I'm more of a much more of an act out comic.
I
than
rely
you
on
are.
the words. You have to use little gimmicks here
cheap,
and there.
cheap sounds and impressions. Yeah.
Just make it sound like the whole time we're doing this, you're just like pulling out props, just
Yeah,
like dead
yeah,
chickens
yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
the whole
yeah.
time.
Hey, we did basically a whole show on Donald Trump. I didn't do the voice once. I'm pretty proud of myself. Speaking
You
of
did it one time. It was good.
fake
It was
news,
good.
that
You
is
did.
fake
was
news,
good.
Emily.
You did an old Carlin. But okay,
I did.
yeah.
I did.
Yeah,
Old
you did
Carlin.
Old Carlin.
No, it was a good impression. I didn't, and you didn't have any overlap.
Yeah, there was no
Oh,
joke
yeah,
off.
a
There
joke
was
off.
no
There was
joke
no
off.
joke off. That happens every once in a
Every once in a
while.
while.
We really need to
Too
start
much
writing.
going on in the world that
Yeah, basically what it is.
24 stories can be covered.
Yeah.
It is. You don't always feel that way, but yeah.
Yeah, this week. Yeah, some weeks it's definitely not, and we have to cover a lot of the same issues because nothing happened. But unfortunately, may you live in interesting times. We certainly do. But speaking of things that are more interesting, Emily, what do you have coming up? Like shows or anything like that?
And this is live. So yeah, whatever's coming up soon.
I will be performing at a swingers convention
Whoa,
this weekend
what?
that I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
publicize. Tell you it's in New Jersey.
Okay.
And yeah, so that's the thing that I'm doing.
What a degenerative state I live
Is
in.
my mom starting that again? That's awesome. I'm so pumped for
It's in
her.
New Jersey.
It's
You got a
in New
Bruce
Jersey. They
Springsteen
booked
there.
a hotel in New Jersey and it's booked out. But yeah, it was funny. They booked me for it and then they were like, "Oh, by the way," and I was like, "You definitely should have fled with that." But
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, bring your husband.
oh, I'm not bringing my husband.
That's why you're not
I'm
announcing
going
the date.
shopping. That's
Yeah,
why.
right.
Wait, so I guess this is pre or after?
What?
Gotta
Is
be
it pre, after, or during you're doing comedy?
I imagine pre because I feel like after the last thing people want to do
Yeah.
is watch. I mean, maybe nap would be my thought
Right,
after
right.
something.
And you
like
can't do
that.
it during. Like, I don't even like doing comedy when like a baseball game's
Oh
on
my
TV.
God. If it was during, I'd be like, "Sir, can you quiet down? Just don't
Just-
come yet. Just time it with the punch."
Hold
Just-
it. Hold it.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
I'd have to be a crowd work comic if I was doing it during. I don't think my own, like, I feel so fucking dumb doing my pre-planned material.
Oh my God.
I especially love so like you getting up and being like, so it's wedding season. Anyone get those wedding invitations?
Saying 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
I
Yeah.
think my whole set is just going to be a Q&A about how their lifestyles work because I have so many questions.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and where can people find you online?
They can find me. I love stone tablets. I'm old school like that. I'm also on Facebook as the Emily Epstein White, and Instagram is a good place to find shows that I'm doing. And I'm at the Real MFs.
Real MFs.
Nice.
That's awesome. What do you got coming up, Dave?
Oh man, in between now and next, my Philly's funniest triumphant return.
Whoa.
I have to figure out how to do 4 minutes of comedy.
That's tough. A lot of people, guests of the show, have moved on. They won their prelims. Steve Kane. No, maybe they didn't. I don't know.
I don't.
Luke Kincaid.
Luke, Medina, Lakshmi,
Medina.
Naeem. Yeah.
Naeem. Yeah. Naeem just won.
So this show gets you through.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see how.
Did
how
you
it goes.
enter?
I didn't, because it makes me sad inside, and I realized that's not good. And I actually, one of the time, like, I realized how much I liked you, Dan, was when we were at one of those, and we both commiserated about how awful competitions make us feel.
100%. I remember that
Yeah.
vividly. That was like what made that night fun. Was
Yeah.
hanging out.
It was like-
even knowing I was going to lose that night. It was
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
not inviting anyone. Come watch me when I'm doing more than 4 minutes of comedy,
Yeah,
which
it's such a
again,
weird-
I have to. The fourth minute's usually when I let the crowd know I'm fucking with them the whole time. So other than that, I will be reading
Crochet
Perfecting the
Yep.
Rows, tips
Yep.
on straight edges and smooth sides when working and turning rows.
Hold that up flat, the front cover, so
Oh,
everyone can
well, let's
see
get
it.
that.
The
And
best
she did
is
all the
if you
graphic design
just
stuff.
Read
Yeah.
that, you would not know what you were talking
No,
about.
this is not I don't think this is a beginner's book. I believe you have to have at least a basic knowledge.
Of
And then
crochet.
she'll really fucking take it. And yeah, she also
the next level.
made our logo. So yeah, she
made
did
our-
all the
yeah, this
graphics
was-
The
for
cover
this.
is lovely.
I'm not sure what you said in the podcast because I barely listen to you when we're recording,
Oh,
but
most
that was written by your friend and the
the
person
naughty boss.
the naughty boss, and she
I knew her back when she was the naughty employee.
the naughty
She's done
intern.
great for herself.
Yeah, it's good for her. And yeah, she wrote that book. She designed our logo, which she did for free, which was very nice. I think
No, I
we
had to
didn't
take
pay
her out for
Oh,
fucking
all right,
dinner.
well, there you go.
But yeah, I guess
At
compared to
Buffalo Wild Wings, where you got
no,
drunk and fight with people?
at a ramen place.
Okay.
Not one of the 5-cent packets, like
Classy.
an actual like nice fucking restaurant that has like unique shit with ramen.
So
So
if you're
it was good.
If
What
you're
do
able
you
to-
have coming up? You didn't
Well,
tell
that's
us what you
we're
have
getting
coming up.
getting there. I'm just trying to make sure we give the book. Dave, as anybody who's tried to record an ad recording with Dave knows, he can't plug shit. So I was just trying to do a solid to our friend and plug her book, Crocheting Secrets. What do I have coming up? That's a good question. I was going to check it out here, and all I had was the news story about Chet Hanks that I wanted to talk about that we didn't get
Oh,
to.
what did he do now?
He's reclaiming White Boy Summer.
Oh,
Believe it or not,
fantastic.
White Boy Summer got taken over by white nationalists, and
Yes.
Chet Hanks is fighting the good fight to take it back. It was never about the bad part of race. It was about white boys enjoying summer. So he says it's a good thing. We'll talk about it next week,
Ugh,
maybe, because
poor
it'll still be
Tom.
White Boy
Perhaps.
Summer.
Poor Tom.
Yeah, Tom is having some
Tom
trouble.
is like, what did I do?
Colin's
wrong?
doing okay though.
Yeah,
Colin's doing all right.
Much better.
Yeah.
Much better.
Okay, this would help if I actually pulled up the right thing.
How
What do
about-
I
how
have
about
that is?
Neil cuts in real quick and tells his while you.
No, that's
you found
okay.
yours? You found yours.
That's okay. I am doing nothing. Believe it or not, I had to look all that up. I think I have a guest spot at a show, but I'm not even going to say it because I don't know if I have it.
Do you
Let
want to
me kind of
open
a
for
dick
me to
move.
swingers convention?
Yeah,
I'm
I
already in
don't-
New Jersey.
weird being having the word open and swingers convention in the same thing.
Close.
Yeah, I'm going to open up.
Tighten up. Do you
Yeah,
want to tighten up
It's-
around me?
Yeah, it's very tight right now.
Yeah.
No, I have there's a show in Westchester at the La Cava Coffee House. I am not on it,
But it exists. So
but it
you
What a good-
exists, and I'll probably be there.
All right, so we're both helping our friends out. That's
Yeah.
nice.
I think I have a guest spot,
Helping
but
our
I
friends.
don't know. But you'll see me there, and we can talk, and that'll be fun.
Neil, what do you got?
Yeah, come out and see me. I just want to say these are three very funny comics. Book them. Like, this is kind of fucking insane. Just please book them. Sorry. Anyway, I know.
Please.
Okay, it's the summer.
Book them. They're hilarious. They're very, very funny. Yeah.
Shit coming up just this week. It's just Philly's fun. Just
I
that
feel
four,
you.
just
That's
that
what, yeah,
tight
you're
four.
concentrating. I love that. I love that for you. Yeah, come on out to Myers Brewing Company this Friday, July 12th. And I think we have a little show also July 19th there that you can check out, and all those great details over at droptent.com. You can go there or just follow me at I am Neil Wood.
Yeah.
And you can find all those shows.
I'll
over
repay the compliment.
Okay.
Neil's a hell of a producer. He puts on really good shows.
And
Definitely
yeah,
see him.
I got to. I'll hype Myers up. I was there the
Great.
last one. All hot people in the audience.
Yeah.
I did not feel like I fit in at the room at all, especially when one of them called me over and said, "You know who you remind me of?" and then showed me that dead dude from Sex in the City.
Oh my, that's a
So,
compliment.
yeah.
Well, I went to support that one, so I'm very happy hot people in the audience. It must have been the one I came out to support. So that's great.
I get told I look like Anne Frank, so I mean, we do the best that we can with what we're working with.
So young.
I
So
know,
young.
so
You look
young.
so
Yeah,
young.
that's
Thank
good-
you. That's how I take it.
That's
as
how
a
you should.
young and a
Young.
published author. You
Yeah.
can't do better than that.
I'm foreign, right? That's exotic.
So
Yeah.
So far.
German accents is so sexy. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's
And
the.
speaking of no, we got Matt Hyams here next week.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Going on a
man.
little run here, I've noticed.
Hey, listen.
Two in a row.
Nice. That's a run. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
That's a Jewish run. I'm bushed.
And maybe Matt will know about Gaga Ball. We'll grill him
he'll-
on the
he'll-
ins and outs.
That should
of
be
Gaga
the first question for every guest. I think.
Ball.
It's a thought. It's
Yeah.
a thought.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
night,
We'll see you
everyone.
next week. Well, there we go. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Oh, man, that was a. we fucking landed that like Kerry Strug should have.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.